Hi. Some men of 78 are in much better shape than I am, and some are in worse shape, and some are even dead. Hang on and I'll tell you how I'm going to get myself back into shape for next bicycle season. The ravages of time and health breakdowns have tried very hard to destroy me. More than 3/4 of a century of wear and tear, cancer and chemo 3 times, numerous surgeries, 13 at last count, ailments like lymphedema, shingles, and sciatica, they're all conspiring to make my declining years even more declining. On the bright side, just the fact that I'm still alive is nothing short of a miracle. It's now the beginning of January 2020, and I have to think about the next bicycle season and how I'm going to get myself back into shape. Do you know what it means to be tired? Up until 2014, I had no idea what that meant. The only times I had ever experienced being something like tired was after a long day of backpacking. Sure, I was tired after walking 20 kilometers with a 60-pound bag on my back, but after supper I'd sit down by the campfire with my friends, and yes, I felt tired, but that kind of tiredness was actually relaxing and had a wholesome aspect to it. And the next day I was back to normal. Now I feel like I'm already tired tomorrow. My theory is if I can strengthen my muscles and improve my cardiovascular system, I'll have more endurance and I'll be able to ride longer before getting tired, and my travels will be a lot more enjoyable. I've decided on 3 forms of exercises. The most important one will be walking. I simply walk out of the door of my apartment building and go for a stroll in my neighborhood 4 or 5 times a week. This year the snow is late to come, quite a contrast with Christmas last year, when we had 7-foot-high snowbanks. But once there's enough snow on the ground, I'll go snowshoeing once or twice a week in the farmer's field just a stone's throw from here. The limiting factor presently is my knees, which no longer have any cartilage. When I bend my knees, it's bone on bone, so it's quite painful. I'm on a waiting list for a knee replacement, and I hope I'll be operated this winter. It takes a couple of months to recover, so I hope I'll be ready in time for the coming bicycle season. So now I'm heading back to the apartment and I'll show you my indoor exercises. This is the second part of my exercise trio. I bought this stationary bicycle 20 years ago and have been using it 3 or 4 times a week for about half an hour at a time. I figure this has given my worn-out knees 20 years of reprieve. It's excellent for lubricating the knee joints, and it's good for strengthening the legs and for improving one's cardiovascular system. But it can get boring. It's not like bicycling outdoors. When you're riding outside, there's scenery and people to look at, and there's road hazards to watch out for, and so forth. Stationary cycling offers nothing for the mind. So, to relieve boredom, I place the bicycle in front of the TV and watch YouTube documentaries, interviews, panel discussions, or movies. Or I can place a book on the handlebars and read. Walking and stationary cycling are fine for the legs, but they aren't enough for the rest of the body. So, 3 or 4 times a week, I do a 30-minute workout that I found on YouTube. It's offered by Coach Kozak and Claudia, who demonstrate a variety of self-workout programs. Their channel is called HasFit Tribe. It's hard to admit, but I'm way past my best before date. I no longer have the energy, the strength, and the flexibility of my youth, so I chose an exercise series they call 30-minute workout for seniors, which is pretty wimpy, but it's suitable for me. After doing the exercises several times, I was getting bored. So now I set up my laptop with the workout video on the coffee table, and while I exercise, I watch a video on the TV, like I do with my stationary bicycle. If I had a personal trainer, maybe he'd look at my age, my condition, and my objective and recommend a very different set of exercises. My decision to choose this particular mix of exercises was based on the same theory as I've adopted for my nutrition. If I eat a large enough variety of foods, my body gets all the nutrition it needs, so I figure that with a large enough variety of moves, my body should get all the exercise it needs. The danger in starting an exercise program right at the beginning of a new year is that it sounds very much like the typical New Year's resolution that goes in one year and out the other. By making it public, I'm exposing myself to failure and ridicule, so that's why I'm formally declaring that this is not a resolution. But I hope it won't turn out to be just a pious wish. If you'd like information about electric bicycles and bicycle camping, or if you'd like to buy one of my books, visit my website www.robertberrio.com. Thank you for watching, and never quit cycling.